Welcome back to AI War Classic, everybody. The Exodian Blade series continues, although it looks like it's going to be a while till we actually get to that part of it. This video will likely go up on Christmas Eve, so happy holiday, everybody. I'm going to try to put up a bit of a Christmas gift to everybody in the form of an AI War 2 patch update video before the day is over. We'll have everything up on Christmas, and then I'll get whatever else I can out before the end of the year and the new computer build. So this is probably going to be the last classic video for 2019. As I'm sure you can see, we've done a bunch of things. So going back to where we left off in the last session, I started moving out towards Dion, and I decided not to wait for the CPA, which ended up being a good decision, but it was a little bit of a tough go when I got into Melpomene. And the issue in here was the wonderful command station, the translocator command station, which has its 16 attacks at 2,000 each. And we had to clear out the tachyon sentinels. To do that, we had to go visible and to make ourselves vulnerable here. So taking out this one wasn't a problem, but to take out the second one, I wasn't able to do it and keep everything safe at the same time without transports, which of course I did not have the knowledge for. So we lost a Mark II flagship. That occasioned a reprisal wave of over 1,100 ships. That hit us. We were able to defend it with the support of the starships and boost our metal. Now by that time, we were getting fairly close on the Zenith power generator, so I just decided to finish it. We had a little over 1 million metal in the bank and just a hair less than that to go on building it. So we finished that. There it is, and eventually started putting the rest of our funding now into the black hole machine. So that's the currently active one building. And I chose that instead of any of the other ones simply because it'll let us trap more ships on this world when they come into attack, and therefore increase our salvage and allow us to pour metal in to other places. So having done all that, that gave us the energy then to build all of our Mark I starships along with the Mark II ones, and with an increased force, we were able to plow through into Dion and take it. We got the advanced scout, the Mark IV scout, and went around scouting the galaxy, and most of that is done. Now this was not easy, but the additional force allowed us to do it without losing much for quite a while. However, I had to get the colony ship through there as well using the method with the cloaker starships. I had to do it quickly before special forces arrived, and I accidentally discovered another interesting quirk of the save and load feature. Because I was already aware that when you load a game, ships that are cloaked don't immediately get that cloak back. Learned that a couple games ago. But also, special forces that are en route, their sort of pathing and what they're doing and everything doesn't always save either. So I accidentally sort of cheated in getting that done. But we basically just knocked out the command station, which was over here somewhere. They had some guard posts over this way. And their in-system defenses were not that huge. Moved all the starships over here to defend this from all of their ships that were released from the guard posts. So we didn't go around killing them all. We just knocked out command station and started building right away. And we were able to sort of play interference over here against them all coming in. It wasn't perfect. They got in some hits, but not enough to destroy it. And we eventually set up in here. I need to move the turrets, by the way, because I'd forgotten about this planet. But we will do that whenever I get to it. Okay, and then with the increased energy, I did also eventually upgrade my turret defenses in the various systems. You can see, like over here in Lunrace, we're looking at, the usual about 2/3 mark. So we're up to the normal defenses for this time, and I used the knowledge that we got from Dion to get assault transports. So that's my latest toy, which I'll be needing for my next set of activities. So moving on to the broader galaxy, it's time to now formulate our plan for getting into the mid-game. And I've decided, given the AIs we're going up against, I'm going to go with a two-pronged approach of definitely going for the counter turrets, or the core turret controllers once more. This is going to be our first target up here in Hebe. That's the laser turret that it's going to give us. But I think with the quadratic overreactive AI, that's going to be important. It's going to be important to attack with starships, so I'm going to focus on those. And this is going to be a hard focus on just the more concentrated starship fleet, using very little fleet ships, although I probably will upgrade the siege engines eventually, and we're going to get all of that done. So looking around, there's various interesting things. There are a couple that I'd like to get, additional starships. I think, yeah, the Warbird starship is down here. I've never used those. That should be fun. We can get those. And then this would also be a very nice place to take for other reasons. This is going to be a big section here because we've got a data center here along with another Zenith power generator, but it's on the wormhole to Portia. So I'd want to take Portia as well and blockade that wormhole to have any reasonable chance of defending it. And then Umbriel over here has a coprocessor and another data center. So that's going to be interesting. And by the way, the coprocessors, we've got Umbriel, Amalthea, and there's another one somewhere else I don't remember, and then Titan. And so I don't even know if we found the fourth one now, think of it. But this is on a homeworld. But the other homeworld, Fat Samurai, you get your turn in the sun if you happen to be watching this. This does not have a coprocessor, so we could potentially take Titan as the first homeworld, assuming there's not some super strange alternate ending that avoids homeworld assaults, and then knock out the coprocessors for the second one here. So temporarily, that's going to be my plan. Now, with going with the starship approach, one of the problems we're going to run into is our advanced starship constructors here. This is a great system. Armor boosters Mark V, Spire Archive, and that. But it's right next to the core world of Psyche. Similarly, I believe, is it here? Yeah, this one has a planetary armor boost and a starship constructor. But it's next to the core world of Narrate. So having both of those starship constructors right next to the core world is something I've not seen before, and it's very bad luck for us because we can't upgrade our starships nearly as much as we would be able to otherwise. Another system I do want to take, though, in a bit, I'm going to go to Hebe first, is Doris over here. And that'll give us the Mark V Plasma Siege, plus it'll get us moving over in this direction that we're going to want to go to eventually anyway. And then this over here. And I'm going to try to grab as many of the core turret controllers as I can to improve our defense. The Haumea over here, the system I overlooked with Dion, that's been scouted, and that's got a Dire Guardian layer, along with max level ion cannon, parasite eye. So we'll be able to clean out this system, but we're going to have to deal with Dire Guardians until then. And so the more, obviously, higher level turrets for that as well we can get is going to make things better. And there are various other things we may want to take. I've got the Dire Guardians on the P2 here for the most part. That one isn't, but I want to switch that up and make that happen. Just because there's no core shield generator, so I want to make those a little bit more distinctive. We've found a third Nomad planet, interplanetary munitions, so that's an interesting special for it to have. But we're also noticing more ion cannons, more planetary armor boosters, etc. And that, of course, is the AI taking advantage of the Zenith Trader. So that's sort of a dual thing there, and I think it's going to be to our advantage overall. We got to make sure we take better advantage of it than they do and expand as quick as I can before they add too much of that stuff and make our job more difficult. The Trader did come into Dion once, and I seriously thought about putting more stuff in there to defend the factory. But I felt like we should finish scouting first, and it didn't. Of course, they don't hang around that long. So there's some more interesting stuff around. There's a couple advanced research stations that by themselves, I don't even think I'm going to care about them, because it's a very weird situation where that little bit of extra science isn't worth it. The ship they get, and we're not going to be building very many fleet ships at all. So those by themselves, actually not that interesting. But here, if we could get that and get the missile frigate Mark V, well, maybe that would be worth it. But they're just going to be of limited use overall. Now, the immediate plan, of course, is to go here. We're going to hit those laser turrets. There's another data center here along with the ones that are over here, and I think there's another one up there in Ursula that we're going to get eventually. But I want to grab this planet, get there from Dion. It's 3 hops away. Get the data center to essentially equal out that expense. And given where this is, if we take a look here in Heb really quick, what I probably want to do is we'll build on top of here, angle the defenses mostly this way, and probably gate raid Ganymedes so that we get less attacks from there, because that's a wide spread. And I'm going to want to make this a little bit more defensible. I'm probably going to eat that extra 5 AI progress in order to knock out that warp gate. And then I want to head over to Doris. So that'll give us a little more reach. By then we'll get the rest of the galaxy scouted. We'll have gained a couple more planets, some more AI progress, but we're doing a good job keeping it pretty low. Now that CPA hit, and that was kind of interesting too. There was 360 some ships, a little bit larger than they normally are for the first one, but also it hit us earlier. It hit us later rather, just over 3 hours into the game. And they had to fuel almost half of it with strategic reserve, which is really rare. And I think those sort of dynamics are just because we've kept the AI progress lower, and so it's really adjusted the normal timing because they're usually in a normal flow and not so much there. I did want to get back to the Exodian Blade thing first because we got a hack to find out where it is, as I mentioned before. And the reason I don't want to do that right away is because of the super terminal. I think what I want to do is expand as much as I can without hacking, use the super terminal for whatever purpose I can once we get much further into, well into the mid-game area. And then start looking for the Exodian Blade and working towards our end-game disposition. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go after Heb. Now, it's got Translocator Eye and a Mark I ion cannon. Because of the eye, I don't really want to take my 9 Zool Enclave starships around, so I'm going to have them hang out back in here. I'm going to have the Cloaker starship hanging back in here. And I also, while I'm here, I want to add in some more force fields. So I just want to add in a couple of these here, and I'll add one more in Dion as well. We'll build a colony ship out that way, and that'll just make these key systems a little bit more protected. But the rest of my starships, the Zenith siege engines, they're going to load up in the transport and head out that way and see what sort of damage we can cause and if we can take that system with what we have. One of the problems with doing this kind of a journey with only one transport is they've got nothing else to hit. And of course the gravity rippers slow it down a bit. There we go. There's no one of those hitches. And this is just our second system. We're going to make it through, but how much of us will be left? %. So yeah, all red there. We definitely got to get out of sight as quickly as possible. We've got a laser guard post over here. The laser doesn't have... Oh, that's the ion cannon. Okay, that's why it's showing planetary wide range. Missile guard post here. Another missile guard post here. So this whole thing basically is covered. There is a bit of a window right there. Yeah, it's a very small window, but it is a window. That's probably the closest place we can get to that's out of fire range. So I probably want to go there initially. And then what do we want to do? I really don't want to take out the command station first. Well, first of all, they got a command station, guard shield, etc. But also, because of the translocator eye, we really need to, there it is, knock out all of the guard posts before taking that on. And we may have, if special forces come in here, this could be a big problem for us. But I guess I'm just going to have to hope we can handle it. Because I want to keep as many of the enemy ships alive as possible as long as the eye is alive. So let me double check my ranges. There. 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 Yeah, okay, so I want to be right about up in here. So let's just go there and hope that we recloak fast enough. Move. Get out there. And yeah, not getting away from their fire range. There we go. Now we're cloaked again. All right, that worked. Yeah, we still got 12% left. Okay. So long as nothing dies, we're fine. Now let's unload. And I want to put... Where is it at? There we go. Put my colony ship back in the transport. Nope. Yeah, let's move this ahead a bit. There we go. All right. Now, everything else, let's just sort of... Because I don't want to hide here or anything. I just want to hang out really close to the edge. And we'll just move the transport all the way out there. So it's just completely out of the way. Come on. And just clear out the initial fighting first. And then we want to go knock out whatever resistance we can. And I don't know that we need to be partial. Because I think that we're going to want to visit... We can leave this alone. But we're going to want to visit all of the guard posts. And I don't think it matters particularly which way we do it. Although I think I can still use the transport. If I had two of them, I could use the transport and sneak around. I actually don't want to do that with only one because we'll get the colony ship killed. So yeah, didn't bring the cloaker starships. Perhaps I could have used one of them to cloak the colony ship. That might have been better. In any case, I'm going to just move around, and hopefully we can do this. We want to stay grouped up. We want to go after... I want to keep the ion cannon alive. Might as well use it for ourselves. But I want to go after the guard posts. And those Zenith siege engines are basically good target practice for the enemy. There we go. And here's another wave, and this is just Guardians, of course. We haven't seen anything from the quadratic AI in quite a while. And I think that's because it's got to try to keep doubling those waves. Plus, and we want to go after the missile next, of course. But it's also got to have an issue. We're going to speed this battle up a bit. It's not getting that much budget because of low AI progress. So it's not going to be able to just throw a bunch of stuff at us. It's going to be very long in between waves for that. Okay, I don't like the looks of some of this. Let's see, you. Yeah, the heavy bomber Starship Mark 1 is only at 15%. So I'm going to keep you out of the fighting for now. So let's see, what else is left? The command station shield won't do much. Missile guard post and MLRS. I think those are the main threats. Yep, and they're up here. So I actually don't want them to attack all of this stuff. That's a detector. Well, I might as well leave that alone. I think swinging back up around here and attacking it from this way is probably the best. And then I want to pick out that bomber. Let's see if I can do this without you so that you do not get destroyed. And you can just hang out over there. So 15 left. This is our new battle group. The bomber pretty much took the brunt of that previous group. There's still, everybody there is good and healthy. So I think now, let's head up this way first. How far away is that tachyon? Okay. I just don't want to give them any encouragement to shoot at the tachyon sentinel. So that's why I'm going to take a little bit of a roundabout route here, but not too much of one, because the missiles are going to compound us. And actually, we're probably best not doing the group move and just getting in there as quickly as... Yeah, there goes the one bomber starship. There it goes. There's a reprisal level 1. I don't want it to get any bigger than that. Okay, go after the MLRS. Then we'll group up and go after other things. 67 enemy ships. There's plenty of them left. Come on. kick it down. There we go. Now everybody... Oh, did they already knock out the command shield? I didn't even specifically tell them to attack it. The plasma siege ones hit it on their way in, probably. All those are fine. And yeah, you're not protected. Okay, I don't mind going after the special forces next. Now everybody's coming after us. So as soon as we clear this out, there we go. Yep, everybody get back in here. There we go. Yeah, and you can see that the very small reprisal is 800 enemy ships and 2 starships to Europa. Now, I think that our defenses are going to be able to handle that. I think they can. I'm not actually 100% sure. We will find out. But now that the translocator eye is gone, we have no reason to fear worrying about any of this other stuff. I think I just want to knock this out and then head down to the command station. Let's go ahead and do that. And of course, simulation not going that much further than regular speed anyway. No point in speeding it up further. Let's just head on down. Nothing else is too close to dying. So we had one almost die and one that did die of the regular Mark I bomber starship. It sure could have been a lot worse. Yeah, we still have all the Mark IIs. And there's the Widow and Vampire. But we have enough firepower to make them go away. Still nothing close to dying. There we go. Okay. Now let's head back here for a minute. Because with all of that stuff going on, I think it's definitely best to send our 9 Zul Enclave ships to the site. And then, of course, let's send that bomber through as well. And here's the attack on Europa. Let's see what they have. Not happy about 172 Gravity Rippers. You can see the weight, though, much more towards Mark I. It's good we have Leech starships. That's a good one for us to be able to go up against. Tachyon microfighters. Frigates are decent, but fighters not that scary. So it's not a horribly scary wave. I really think we should be able to handle this, but you never know. Let's see. And we're taking out some of their ships, but not that many from long range with the sniper, spider, and whatnot. The fighters are now reaching our barricades. So they're the first things that we've got to eliminate. Now comes the bombers. Still only eliminated about 100 of them. You just don't have that much killing power. And the worry is that, you know, just the mass of them will continue. See the bombers gradually coming through. In come the Gravity Rippers. They're down about 200 ships. We need to kill more of them, though. Let's have you just sort of... Yeah, you're fine where you are. So they're not making... Oh, yep, some of the bombers got down here, so they're actually attacking our force field already. But half of them are gone. Half the enemy's gone. All the bombers are gone. Well, almost all the bombers are gone. They've got Gravity Rippers, but the thing about them, they take a while to kill, but they actually don't have super great, you know, attack. They just take a while to kill and slow things down. So they're not dangerous in and of themselves. The missile frigates might be. This is not going to be a pretty battle for us, but I think we're going to win it. How are we doing down here? Yeah, the Leech starships are going to take a pounding as well. Our force field's back up to maximum, though. Only 200 ships left. All of these frozen in place. It's nice that the missile frigates pretty much got stopped where they were. There they go. Now they're all going to try to run away. And we're going to chase them as well as we're able. Okay, so we made it. Let's head back up to Heap now. And let's see. Okay, we're built up here. And the other thing I think I want to do now at this point, I mean, I'm going to have to do it eventually. So I'm just going to upgrade my engineers. Still got the one research station in here. It's only 1,000. We've got that much. We're about to grab in more. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, it's time for good news, bad news. We're here in Doris. We're going to have, yep, we have it, the Plasma Siege Mark V Fabricator. And we just captured the system. We're building up in here. The bad news is we incurred a couple of reprisals. And one of them, I don't know where it came from. At first, it really surprised me. It was for the Overreactive AI, and this was not their system. It was the other AI, the Starship Vanguard AI. And it was only about 500 some ships. We've handled more than that. I figured our defenses could handle it. I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. And this is why. The Overreactive AI has Zenith Reprocessor, which converts you to resources, as we've seen before. They generate salvage. So basically, that's going to feed right in to the overreaction, because the more salvage they get, the more waves they hit, and so we could end up in a very, very bad cycle here. So we've lost this system for the moment. I'm going to take my few ships that are left, escape back to our homeworld. We're going to come back in here and smash them, but if I can find any sort of backup design server that has the reprocessors, I think we finished scouting. I don't think there are any, but if I find one, yeah, I'm definitely hacking it. Otherwise, that's the one ship that makes that overreactive thing even stronger. And I still don't know where this reprisal came from. I'm kind of confused by that. But regardless of where it came from, that's pretty evil. So anyway, we're going to shift our fleet back here. The threat is, I mean, the majority of it's in Lunrace, and then we've got some in V-Date here as well. So we should be able to mop that up, I think, and recover with the loss of not a whole lot more than metal. But that's pretty annoying, and I don't think they have any chance of surviving if they come in to our homeworld. So we would be able to handle that, I'm quite sure. Nonetheless, that's ugly. So we do have the rest of the scouting done. And there really wasn't that much more that we haven't already seen. Over here, we've got a microfighter fabricator. We're going to ignore that. Another advanced research station, another dire guardian lair. But I think we've pretty much already seen what's available. And the scouting is done. We've moved further out this way. Now I've got to plot further steps. Of course, getting the rest of the Nomads was important. And right over here, we have Nomad number 4. Which actually does not have anything special. Our path is set. We got this weird, open spot over here. Probably where some of the Nomads start out. I don't know. But I think now it's just a question of whether I can accomplish the goal, because we certainly have all the information that we need. So we'll see if I can start picking up some more of those core turret controllers, knocking out some more systems, or if AI proves too tough. That'll be coming up next time, and probably next year. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy holidays.